Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live from the Dallas Fort Worth area. Welcome to the Point Blank Experience, where there's real talk from a point blank perspective. When it comes to Rod, there is no faking and shaking. He only knows how to be one way, and that is 100% real. While you're enjoying the show, you may want to call or text a friend and invite them over, because we're about to have a whole lot of fun up in here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and let's get real, baby. What it do? What it do? Welcome to the Point Blank Experience, where it's more than a YouTube channel. It is an experience, baby. As you can see from the screen right now, we have the entire Point Blank network. We have Point Blank Travel, the Point Blank Experience, Investing with Rod, and Point Blank Clip. All four channels make up the Point Blank network, and the passcode to success is 247-365, meaning we stay grinding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I posted on Instagram today. Somebody said, Rod, I'm glad you're back. I said, I never left. I just had to polish up the jewel and come out harder than before. And with all that being said, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the experience, baby. I am your host that sometimes does the most. It is your boy, Rod, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all for being here. It is a pleasure. This is the first interview of 2024 on the Point Blank Experience, and actually the first one I've done in a while. And we got 13 real homies in the building, and today I have a special guest, man. And I was just telling him backstage, when I reach out to people to do an interview, it's like, man, I have a 50-50 shot. They could say yes, they could say no. You never know. But hey, he said yes, and it is an honor to have him here. Some of you know him as Warmstrong Adventures. Some of you know him as Bill. Some of you may not even know him at all. But I guarantee you, after this show, you're going to know Bill and maybe then some. So sit back, get you some popcorn, get you some Gatorade, get your cocktail of choice, some juju beans, whatever you want to snack on tonight, baby, because it's about to be a whole lot of fun going on. And without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and make sure Bill's ready, and I'm getting ready to bring him to the stage. I think he's ready. So let me go ahead without any further ado. A world traveler travels the world. I don't mean, when I say the world, just going to the Caribbean. I don't mean just going to Mexico or Cabo. I'm talking about travels the world. Ladies and gentlemen, my main man, Warmstrong Adventures. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing good, Rod. Thanks for that warm welcome. My goodness. You were talking so much. I wanted to meet this person you were talking about.
Talking about you, bro. Talking about you, well, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. It's a little rainy day here in Detroit, but hey, you need a little rain to bring out the flowers for May. So you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, I thought about that today because it's been raining the last couple of days here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and then I saw some on TV today, the April showers and May flowers. I said, oh, that's what it is. It's April, man. You know
that old saying, April showers bring May flowers.
Yeah, well, you answered my first question. I was actually where you're originally from. So, are you originally from Detroit?
Born and raised in Detroit. I live just outside Detroit right now, but born and raised in Detroit. West Side? Anyway, yeah, born and raised in Detroit.
I started to guess there because I saw a video with you with the, man, what's that dude, number 81? He retired early.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson.
You know, I'm a big Lions fan. I mean, y'all know you're from Dallas, and me and Dallas, we don't get along too much, but
well, we don't get along.
I love football.
I'm not a Dallas fan, bro. I just like good football, man. I tried to like Dallas prior to moving here. I tried to like them when I got here. I bought some T-shirts. I bought some hats. I just couldn't do it, man. They don't make good decisions, bro. So
they don't. They haven't in a while.
Yeah, it's hard for me to follow anybody that don't make a good decision. So, I never did. But what I'm going to do to get this party started, Bill, I'm not going to leave I'm going to slide to the side. I'm going to give you a full screen. Just tell the people a little bit about yourself, not too much, because I have a whole lot of questions and we're going to get to know you as we go along with this. So go ahead. The floor is yours. Just tell everybody a little bit about Warmstrong Adventures.
Well, it's not a whole lot to tell. I mean, I'm an old retiree that loves to travel. I've been traveling my whole life. Warmstrong, if for those that don't know, my first name is William Armstrong. That's my name. So it sounds like, hey, how did you come up with the name Warmstrong Adventures? Nothing magical, nothing. It didn't mean anything. It's just my initial and my name. And back in high school, they used to call me Warmstrong. At first, I never knew what they meant. But like, playing football, you'd hear, hey, Warmstrong. I'm like, who is he called talking to? Anyway, that's how I got the name. Right now, I'm divorced. Been divorced for a little while, but again, I first started cruising back when I was married, and that's when I got my first taste of the cruise life. My love of life now is cruising, and that's what I like to do. I like to travel. I like to cruise. A couple of years ago, I started getting into internet as far as like YouTube. If you ever look at my channel, you'll see the very first video I put out was in 2009. And I was just something I did. I wasn't into YouTube. So I put out a video in 2009. They were dropping the D, how they dropped the ball in New York, the apple in New York. Well, New Year's Eve in Detroit, they used to drop a D. And I have a quick short video of that. And that's how I started in YouTube. But then I started doing YouTube and documenting my cruising for me, my family, and for anybody else who wants to watch. Other than that, not a whole lot to know about me. I'm a simple person, so not a whole lot to know other than that.
Okay, cool, great. That was perfect. And for anyone that has a question for Bill, please proceed it with a ship, the little emoji of ship. And if you like me and can't find all them doggone emojis down there, just put any emoji up there, a heart, a ship, or lipstick. I don't care what you put up there, man. Just put some up there so I know it's a question. If anybody in here from the Alliance, I see we got your favorite couple. Me and I not put nobody. I know you're here to watch the interview and enjoy it. But if it's a question that's taking me a long time to get to, please just shoot me a quick text or something, just so I don't take all day. So Bill's originally from Detroit, raised in Detroit, lives outside of Detroit now. Cruising is the love of his life. He's divorced, and his first cruise he went on with his wife. So before we get to that part, what was it like for Bill growing up, Bill? What was it like for you growing up? Were you in inner city New York, Detroit? Were you in the suburbs? Or
yeah, no, I was in inner city. People from Detroit area, I'm Northwest Side, 6 Mile and Schaefer. That's where I grew up at. And my father, mom and father. My father came from Jacksonville, Florida. My mom came from Brownfield, Illinois, and they moved up here. My father came up here for work. My mom came up here and for work also. He started working at Ford. And I mean, growing up, I thought I had the best childhood. I had a stay-at-home mom, and my dad, he went to work every day, and we always felt like we had everything we needed. I look back now, it's like, man, we probably didn't have as much as I thought we had, but I thought we had everything. And every summer we would go visit down in Metropolis, Illinois, the home of Superman. We'd go down there and visit family. And that was my summer vacation for, till I was probably, I don't know, 23 or 24, 25 years old.
Okay. So now it may be a little different. I grew up in the South, but while growing up in Detroit, and y'all, this is not scripted. I have no idea or had no idea that Bill grew up in Detroit. So he don't know what I'm asking him. Hell, I don't even know if I know what I'm asking him, but because I'm having to shift some of the questions around because he kind of answered a couple already. And just so y'all know, my interviews aren't like your typical YouTube interviews. I don't go in a direction. I might jump over here and talk about cruising this minute, then I might be over here talking about something totally different. And that way people can anticipate what I'm going to ask and keep everybody on the edge of their seats. So now, did you experience any racism or racial tension growing up?
Oh, there's, I never did. I never really did. But I mean, you can look at me and see that I'm mixed. Well, I did a 23andMe, but actually my son, He started it. He did a 23andMe. It's the DNA testing that you can send in, and they tell you where you're from and you know your ancestors and all that. So my mom was a very fair-skinned black woman, and my dad was dark skinned. So my whole life, I mean, again, mom is black, dad is black. Come to find out, when he got the test back, I did one too, because he started asking me all these questions about my family and my past, and I'm like, why are you asking me all these questions? Come to find out, it's like I'm 30%, 35% European, from British and Ireland, and then the rest is from like the west coast of Africa. But when you ask me about the racism, my parents, even though back when they grew up, or I'm sorry, when they were living in Detroit, I'm sure I was up there during the Detroit riots. They kept me away from all that. They always kept me in a good area, so I never experienced anything like that. And by them being so different as far as their color, I'm sure they experienced racism, but they made sure, like the family, the kids, we never experienced it. We never saw it. I would go down and I would go down to Metropolis, Illinois, and they wouldn't even they didn't want blacks using the same swimming pool, but they kept me away from that kind of atmosphere back then. So long story short, and I ramble a little bit too, people. Long story short is, no, I really didn't experience any kind of racism.
Okay. And don't worry, I'll play the music. I don't think I have the music, but I'll cut you off if you're going too deep. But I like to let people get their words out. I don't really like to interrupt them. Now, I remember my daughter went to that 23 and Generations or whatever that little site was.
23andMe.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I had this lady out the blue hitting me up on social media telling me, hey, I'm your cousin. I was like, how you figure that? And she looked about my age, and I'm not a spring chicken. I'm like, I ain't never heard of you in my life. All of a sudden you come along, you my cousin. How did you come to this conclusion? She said, well, your daughter did. So I tell you what, you and my daughter could be cousins. Me and you ain't about to be cousins. I know all my cousins. And the lady tried to look up again, and there was the ear to that. So now you said your first cruise, you went on your first cruise, you and your ex-wife. What year was it when you went on your first cruise?
1990. And I know people back there, yeah, they had cruise ships back in the 90s, people. And it wasn't our anniversary. It was like the next year we decided to go on a cruise. And my first time on a cruise ship, man, was I seasick. I mean, we were at sea for the first 2 days. I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know about motion sickness and things like that. I was sick. I'm like, maybe I just have an upset stomach. I ate something wrong. I don't know. I never even thought about it being seasickness. After about 2 days, it was a 7-day cruise. And after about 2 days, I said, hey, you can stay on the cruise. I can't do this anymore. First port, I'm flying back home. I can't do this for 7 days. Talked to guest services, and they gave me some Dramamine, and I started popping them like candy. I haven't had a problem since.
Well, I can tell you, I got a little trick for all you people out there. My first cruise was 1990 as well, but I wasn't on Carnival Royal Caribbean. I was on the USS, which is the United States warship, and seasick is real. I didn't believe it. But if you wait until you get out to sea and start feeling sick and take Dramamine, there's a 90% possibility you're going to get sicker. You want to take it prior to pulling out, as we used to call it. I think they called it the sail away in the cruise world. We call it getting underway. You want to take it before then. So it's just a little note from ROD from PBE. So 1990, you was feeling a little sick, and try not to eat anything wet. When I mean like cereal or anything that try to eat dry stuff. So just a little note there. So Bill, now your first cruise, how many cruises did you and your ex go on, if you don't mind me asking?
Say that one more time.
How many cruises did you and your ex-wife go on, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, probably 2 or 3, maybe. It wasn't a lot. I enjoyed the cruise, but that wasn't really like set me off. Back then, I was always working. I was always, 2 jobs and family and all that other good stuff. So I didn't have the time to do it. It was later, a little bit later on, is when I started doing like, multiple cruises in a year.
Okay. So did you find it to be a big difference initially when you went on a cruise with your spouse than doing it solo? Was there a huge difference with that?
I mean, for me, no. Even though I'm kind of an introvert, I can still relate to people. I can still go up to a bar and talk to anybody. So yeah, I mean, when you take somebody with you, again, you got a built-in conversation, built-in companionship. But even when I went solo, I mean, again, I still meet people. I mean, to this day, I still I keep track or I keep up with people that I went on cruises with from years ago. And I mean, to me, it's like a built-in party with everybody having one goal and one enjoyment, and that's cruising. So it's easy to meet people and start a conversation.
Okay. Now you say you're an introvert, and I know when we were backstage, you said you tend to be shy. Has cruising helped you kind of get over that, and where you feel like you may be becoming more of an extrovert now? Or?
No, that's YouTube. Cruising doesn't. YouTube does. I do a couple of shows on YouTube, like weekly shows, and I mean, I get nervous every time I go live. I mean, you just saw me before I came up here with you. I was all nervous, and it's like, and again, with you, it's unscripted. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know what you're about to ask me. So now, I mean, that add more to the nerves. It's like, oh, what is he going to ask me? Am I going to know our answer? How am I going to sound with this answer? And it's good. I mean, it's good. I can do it, but I'm just getting really nervous. Some people are very comfortable. You seem very comfortable in front of the camera.
You should have saw me when I first started. And I'm an introvert turned extrovert over years. As a child, I was an introvert, probably as an early teenager. My first YouTube video was crap. My first live stream on Facebook was a total disaster. And over time, I did get more comfortable with it. But it took me probably 9 months from my first live stream to even think about doing another one. And I had my YouTube mentor at the time kind of talked me into it. So just the more you do, man, the more, like, I was kind of nervous about, because I did a crypto live the other day. I did 4 or 5 videos in the last week. I do a Points Blank Travel live a couple of days ago where I'm talking about points a mile. But it's been a long time since I've done an interview, and I was typing something to Shelter from Your Favorite Couple. And he said, it's almost so time. And I was trying to type yes, sir. And I don't know what I typed. I typed yes, but it was sitting or something like that. And I said, man, maybe I'm nervous, bro. Uh-oh. And so it happens to all of us. But now I'm going to shift gears a little bit, man, because I don't want people to get too burnt out on the cruise and stuff. We're going to come back to the cruising. But on the Points Blank experience, we have what we call the rod oven. And every once in a while, I like to turn the heat up on the oven. So we're going to turn the heat up a little bit, Bill. And we ain't going to get too deep into this, but I just want to hear your thoughts, your opinion. What are your thoughts on this whole Diddy situation?
Ooh-wee. You did turn up the oven on that one. I think it's more of a Hollywood type problem, a entertainment type problem. I think there were a lot of weird things going on, but I mean, we're getting now with the internet and all these other outlets, you're starting to see a lot of people talk about what it was like in the entertainment industry. So, I mean, yes, do I think, there was something going on? Yeah, I think it probably was, but he's not the only one. And when I look at all these, executives out in Hollywood, it seems like, and I mean, I could be wrong, but this is like, my opinion. When people are in power, when they get people around them, they want to get something over their head. They want to get them in a situation where they don't feel comfortable. They want to get them on film doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And with that, you can control a lot of people. A lot of people aren't strong enough that, hey, you got this tape of me. Well, go ahead and put it out there. most people would do anything to no, please don't do that. Please don't do that. And I think that's kind of the world that Diddy lived in, where, hey, if I get something on all these people, I can they're working for me now. So yeah, the Diddy, I think there's a lot to a lot of the stories that we hear. Long story short.
Well, I tell you what, Bill, I have my thoughts. I'm not going to get into the typical thoughts that everybody else would get into, because this is the Warmstrong Adventure interview. I'll save that for a separate live stream, but I watched some more coverage on it, and I have my thoughts and opinions. But I can tell you a fact out of this, and it ain't got nothing. Well, maybe Diddy's an influencer, but a fact. Rod don't ever want to be rich. Rod don't ever want to be famous, not even YouTube famous, because it's, Biggie said a long time, more money, more problems, but they've taken this to a whole exponential level. More money is super duper problems, and I wouldn't want nothing to do with that. So that's I'm sorry, go ahead.
As you get bigger, the more people don't want to bring you down. And the whole thing now is to think about back in the day, growing up, you have a side chick. You're married, but you got a side chick.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kept quiet. Now it's like it's people bragging about being the side chick. So all your business is out there in the street. It's crazy out there now. And everybody wants to see when you're on top, they want to see you fall. I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people, and they pay money to see that. Hey, you got any dirt on who? Let Rob blow up to 250,000 subscribers. And you'll be like, what was Rod's childhood like? What did he do back then? Tell me about it. And it's just the way that it is right now.
Well, I tell you what, my circle's so small, I could draw with a mechanical number 2 pencil.
Yep.
It's small. So you really got to be fishing to find some, not saying I'm perfect or have been perfect, but you got to do a whole lot.
Well, that's the whole thing. Nobody's perfect.
And you know what? I think the key word that happens with a lot of this stuff, man, and it's not just in celebrity, it's in everyday life, is the one word: trust. People trust these people. They trusted R. Kelly. They trusted Diddy. They trusted, going back to alleged stuff that with Michael Jackson. They trust these people, and then you throw the fame, the glitter, and the glory in there, and mix that with trust. When it hit them like a freight train. Bam! I wasn't expecting this. I don't even think this is happening. Maybe I'm dreaming. Well,
see, now my take on that is, I don't know about that trust. They saw dollars and they were willing to, hey, R. Kelly. Yeah, I know about Aaliyah. I know she was 12 at the time. I know that, but here's my son. Here's my daughter. And they do it for money. It's like they turn a blind eye, to what's going on around them. And people know. And then now it's coming out. Now, first thing you want to do though is ask, hey, why didn't you stop it back then? No, R. Kelly. We're talking. That was back when I was 30 years old, R. Kelly. But now all of a sudden, I guess the Me Too is like, you got to go.
Yep. And I sometimes think they get too big for their britches, but we ain't gonna dwell on that.
They do. They definitely do.
I got a lot more stuff. Now you're currently retired, correct?
I am retired.
You're retired. So what advice would you give to a person that wants to retire and live the travel lifestyle that you're currently living?
Value money. Don't value things. Growing up, I never got like whatever the brand new Jordans or whatever shoes were popular right there, the brand new jeans, whatever they were advertising on TV. I would do the Levi jeans and whatever. I would never pay more. Even now, I wouldn't pay more than $100 for a pair of gym shoes, even though I know there's a ton of gym shoes going out here for a lot more. Just think about your money, and that's what I've always tried to, even with my kids, try to teach them as far as the value of money. And it's more important to invest. We're gonna go back into my childhood now a little bit. Growing up, like with my mom and dad, investing was, hey, here, throw, Pops comes home from a Ford Motor Company. Here's the check. Put it in a checking account, earn 0.05% interest, and that's savings. And as I grew up, as I got older, I learned that is a form of savings, but that's not how you make money. And I read a book, which I turned my kids onto, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it was talking like the difference, what's a rich dad and what's a poor dad. And it's I don't care how much money you make, if you can't lose your job and maintain your lifestyle, you're poor. If you can't maintain your lifestyle, you're poor. You're going to work. So anyway, I try to teach my kids that. So save your money. I wanted to travel, so I got a part-time job at Delta where they had flight benefits. So now I can fly for free. Brand loyalty, and that goes on with a lot of things. Brand loyalty. I'm a big fan of carnivals. I do a lot of carnival cruises. Gamble a little bit on Carnival, which is probably not the best thing to save money, but I gamble a little bit. But they offer these incredible deals to go cruising, and that's how I live. My people used to ask me, how can you afford to take all these cruises, 4 or 5 cruises a year, pay child support on my salary? I never told them. Hey, it was just about making smart decisions as far as what I did with my money and the jobs that I took.
Man, I love that. And I could tell you what I heard out of that was Bill strategized and he had a plan. Notice he went and got a part-time job with Delta. Yes, it was to subsidize income, but it was also future thoughts. Working with Delta, I get a little longevity or stay a certain period of time. I can fly for free. My ex's daughter works for Delta. She just arrived from the Philippines a couple of days ago. I saw on social media. I remember when she was living with me one day, hey, I'll see you later, Mr. Rod. I'm getting ready to go to Hong Kong. What? Who does that? But right. Proper planning. So, hey, y'all heard it here. And I'm telling you right now, and this is a shameless or shameful plug, whatever you want to call it. If you really want to learn how to make your money grow for you, check out my other channel, Investing with Rod, because I'm showing the everyday person, not the rich people, not the people with thousands and hundreds of thousands, but the people like me that got $5, $10, $20, how to invest and watch your money grow. Just a little bit I had to throw out there. Hey, we got a question from the wonderful, beautiful, real homies that's in the crib. All of my world says, how many cruises has he been on? How many cruises have you been on?
I'm going to answer that question 1 second. But Rod, that's the reason I found you. I didn't subscribe to your channel, but I was watching you and you were telling about using credit cards and crypto, and I'm listening to him, and it's like this brother's making all this sense. And I used to watch your stuff before I even knew who you were. I mean, again, it's just here recently I really found out who Rod was. So for people on YouTube, you don't know who's watching you, even though they may not comment, they may not subscribe. But I remember all the advice that you gave. And for the question, right now I am at probably about 48 cruises with about 5 booked.
48 cruises. I've been on one, and that was the Millionaire cruise. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I got the bug. I'm itching to go back. It's just my schedule for 24 seems to have a couple conflicts in it. But so 48 cruises, 5 booked. So you're gonna be up to 53. And before I go any further, Bill, thanks for those kind words. You're right. You never know who's watching you. And when I started this channel, it was 2 things, my 2 objectives. We was going to have a whole lot of fun and do a whole lot of learning. And if I could just help one people, and I say all the time, a party of one is no fun. Meaning if I have all this knowledge and I'm not sharing it with people, and I don't mean charging money, it's free to subscribe to any of my channels. It's free to hit the thumbs up button. Yes, I have memberships. Yes, I have Patreon memberships, but those are your choices. but I'm still gonna put the same information out for free. A party of one is no fun. A party for five is a get together. But if I can get everybody to come up, travel for free, learn how to use points and miles, learn how to travel with cash back that they earn, and everybody's at the party, that's a real party. So
well, it is. I mean, it's like free money, you know, those cashback offers, and you get a Delta airline miles card, and they basically, if you sign up for the Delta American Express Gold card, they give you like 40,000 or 30 or 40,000 points. That's your free flight right there. You know, I mean, again, so if you look around, there are always things to be found. One of the things that I like, as much as I love cruising, just like you were saying, like sharing the knowledge, I didn't realize until I started doing YouTube, because I started doing YouTube more for family, so family could see my videos, but other people started, watching the videos. But having people ask me questions, and I just put a video out the other day. It's about sports betting on a Carnival cruise ship. And, somebody's asking me, well, what ships are they on? And I love answering questions for people about cruising. I don't expect nothing in return. I don't want anything in return. I became a travel agent, not really so much to book everybody else's cruise, but so I can gain more knowledge about the cruise industry, about the travel industry, because I love traveling so much.
Wow. Man, you're a smart man. And I'm telling you, game recognized game. You're a very intelligent brother. And I must tell you, I typically only ask the best of the best to be on the Points Blank Experience. And it never fails. When I get someone on here, I learn something. And that's why I tell people I don't run the channel. I'm the facilitator of the channel, of all my channels, because I'm always learning something from other people. So, hey, we have another question from the real homies. What is your favorite cruise? I don't know if that means cruise ship, cruise line.
Oh, so I have like a top five, and I won't run through the exact ship or anything like that.
Take your time, Bill. I need to excuse myself for 1 second. Don't get nervous. I can still hear you.
Oh no, I'm good. I do a show twice a week. I just get nervous. My favorite cruise ship as of now, it's probably Carnival Jubilee. It's just a brand new ship. I like the newer ships, but again, to be honest with you, any cruise ship that I'm on is my favorite at the time. I love themed cruises, and with music, I did a hip hop cruise where you had, color. What was the name of the groups? They had Salt and Pepper, Coolio, and Biz Markie. They were all on the cruise ship performing, and that was probably my favorite cruise. I went on a cruise. I'm a big Prince fan, if you didn't know. I'm a big Prince fan. So Sheila E. had a themed cruise. So I went on that. That was one of my favorite cruises. But I went on a 23-day cruise from Sydney, Australia to Seattle, Washington. So it was 23 days. We stopped in Fiji, and we stopped in Moorea, which is in French Polynesian Islands. And to me, all the places I've been, I've traveled a lot. I've worked for Delta. I traveled a lot. I've been all around the world. Moorea is probably the most beautiful place I've ever seen on Earth. And that was probably my number one cruise as of now. Yeah, that's it. Theme cruises. If you know something that you like and you want to go on a cruise, if they have a themed cruise about that, imagine being on a cruise with a bunch of people that like the same thing that you like. You can't beat it. I know Meet and I, they were in here. I'm going on their cruise in June 14th. No, July 25th. It's actually going to be kind of my birthday cruise. My birthday's in July, so it's kind of my birthday cruise. But I'm looking forward to meeting I and everybody else that's going to be on that cruise.
Wow, so you're going on a Meet and I cruise. I tell you, that last one, boy, if it's anything like that, that last one was off the chain. It was so much.
It looked like a lot of fun. I'm sorry I missed it.
And hey, just a quick reminder, couple quick reminders. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. Also hit that bell notification. It's going to default to personalized. Make sure you go up one and select all, because if you leave it on personalized, you're not going to get notifications if you don't go in there and personalize any. Also, hit that like button, that thumbs up. It helps the video get pushed out. And if you have a question, make sure you put some type of emoji so it's easy. I'm kind of going through all the comments, so it's easy. But as I start moving around, I may or may not see your question. I really don't want to leave anyone out and miss your question. And with that being said, we have a question from Controversial Cruising says, hey, I thank y'all for these questions because y'all making my job easier, baby. That's less questions I got to ask. If y'all ask all the questions, what did you want to do when you were growing up?
Man, I wanted to be a football player. What else? I wanted to play football. I originally started out, I wanted to be an accountant, but I got away from that. And then I went into law enforcement.
Okay. So football player, then you accountant, and you got into law enforcement. You were a police officer, a detective, or?
Yeah, I became a chief of police out here in a city right outside Detroit.
Oh, I was going to say, man, you had no one, boy. That's goals right there. Because if I was a police officer in Detroit, my number one goal would be the chief, so I wouldn't have to leave the station and go out on the streets.
Honestly, I loved it. I loved being a police officer in the city of Detroit. Every day was different. You got out there to help people. Every day was different. That was a great job. My least favorite was being police chief because now you're dealing with too many. You're dealing with the politics side of like that kind of work. So it's not as much fun as being out there on the street helping people.
That makes sense. I mean, I can get with that.
I mean, again, I know people. You can come to Detroit and never see a crime. I've never been robbed, never been shot at, never been anything like that. I had my car stolen. Not with me in it. But don't believe everything you see. The problem you have with Detroit is Detroit was a city built for 2 million people. Well, you have 600,000 people here now. So you have a lot of abandoned houses and they're trying to tear those down. Everything was built around the auto industry. So when that kind of collapsed, all the good paying jobs disappeared. There's a ton of good people in the city of Detroit. I mean, there's money. The downtown area is coming back. They need to put a little more money into the neighborhoods, but you can come to Detroit and not worry about your life in Detroit.
Oh, okay. I noted because that's one of the cities that's on my list that I have no desire to go to. So, but noted, I may have to check it out. But I don't know, it get cold. I was in Indiana in January, and my sister-in-law was like, "Rod, you think this is cold? It's even worse in Michigan, and we have to go there a couple of weeks." That's why I'm glad I'm leaving. I'm going back to Dallas. But
and out of cold. Now that's one reason why I would leave. I didn't leave originally because of family and things like that. Every now and then I think about moving down there. You know, I think about the two places I really thought about moving to was Florida and Texas. And I don't some of the politics that go on down there, I don't want to have to deal with that either.
Yeah, Texas is getting more expensive. It's changed a lot.
It is.
2008, and it's changed a lot as far as the cost of living. So think about that if you are thinking about moving here. Hey, Marjorie has a question for you, Bill. Do you have any hobbies besides cruising and YouTube? Or YouTube?
Hey, Marjorie. Any hobbies? You know what? YouTube has kind of like taken over my hobby. That is my hobby. Even though I monetize, it's still to me, it's just a hobby. I love sports, so I do watch a lot of sports. I keep up with sports. I see you got the San Diego Padres hat on, and last time we won the World Series was 84 when the Tigers beat Goose Gossage and the Padres. So I love my sports. I mean, my Pistons have been down, and my Red Wings have been down, and my Tigers have been down. My Lions had a come up year.
Yeah, I've been trying to get into. I really had this hat on because I'm trying to get into baseball, and I lived in San Diego for almost 20 years. And I like that they changed from the blue to the brown. I tend to wear a lot of earth tones, so
okay.
When I first saw this hat and the yellow, I said I got to get one of those. So, and I think I saw it in Phoenix, and then when I got back to Dallas, I got one. So, anyway, moving right along here. So, Bill, now this is a question from Rob. What would you say has been your biggest accomplishment? Period. It could be small to other people, but humongous to you. But what would you feel, as far as Bill is concerned, has been your biggest accomplishment?
My biggest accomplishment, there's no doubt about it, is having the 2 kids that I have and how they turned out. Uh, both, hard workers and things like that. But it's not about the work. It's just about the goodness in their heart. I mean, they're willing to help anybody. They don't look down on anybody. It's kind of the way that I am. I don't look down on anybody. Now, if you give me a reason to, I mean, we can go wherever you want to go. But as far as me meeting the person, I'll give the person on the corner the same respect I'll give the president of the United States. You get the same respect. Nobody's above, nobody's below. We're all on this earth together. So seeing my kids, and that's the way they go through life as good people, is the greatest joy I could ever have. I can leave this world a happy man, knowing how good they are as people. And I know some people say, well, my kids. It got nothing to do with my kids. Trust me, if my kids were messed up, I wouldn't be talking about it. I truly believe they're 2 of the good ones.
Hey, I want to thank your favorite couple for dropping the various links for TikTok and the other social media platforms that Bill is on. And
I appreciate it too.
I want to also thank it's your boy Leo. Thank you all for being here in this dope interview. That really means a lot to me. I'm sure it means a lot to Bill, because it could be 2 people in here, and we've just seen people coming in and out, and all the comments. It's a beautiful thing, man. It made me wonder, what was I thinking not doing interviews on this channel? And Bill, I like what you just said about your kids, with your biggest accomplishment, because a lot of people don't realize that raising children is beyond a job. It's and when I say it's a chore, and it's not in a bad way, it could go right, it could go left, it could go good, it could go bad. So for you to be able to say that, it just really, it does something to me. I'm not gonna get deep into it, because you could have said anything, or anything, graduating high school, or being able to travel the way I do, but you said your
Right.
kids. So that's very special. Now, Bill, if you could meet one person, past or present, I always ask this question because I get some interesting answers. Who would it be? Past, here, not here no more, presently here. If you could meet one person, who would it be?
My goodness, that's a good question. That is a good question. That is a great question, because I know what I could say. I could say Jesus, Martin Luther King. But again, when I go, harping on what I just said, we're talking about like just men, just people that we know. You're probably looking at Martin Luther King, and then the next person would be like Prince, because growing up when I was like 18 and he was putting out music, I could relate so well to his music when he put out like his anti-draft song, and we don't want to fight no more. You can fight y'all. I really admired him in his earlier days. Now he did talk some crazy stuff. I don't get the more the older I get and deal with people like in politics and deal with people with their issues. I don't want to know. I don't want to meet Frederick Douglass, not necessarily. I don't want to meet Lincoln. I don't want to meet, because a lot of times you start dealing with people that are into politics, and a lot of people say whatever, and it could be just me because of this day and age of politics. I want to meet people that have touched me. And growing up, Martin Luther King and the Kennedys, John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy, they were big in my household. So that's why I would want to meet, like Martin Luther King and those two. But Prince touched me on another level with his music.
I have to agree with you, Bill. I was a huge Prince fan. I remember when he passed away, everybody was rushing to the record stores trying to buy his music, and there was songs I was popping off that weren't on the Billboard charts. You know, they were on
Right.
albums, but I used to listen to his entire album. I was probably one of the 45 people that bought Under the Cherry Moon, that album. You know,
Oh, I had everything Prince at the time, and people that were close to me when he died, they called to check on me to make sure I was okay. And it's like, are you kidding me? I mean, nah, I'm sad he died, but they really thought, because I mean, everything I did was Prince. There's a time around 84 that all I listened to was Prince. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what music came out right then.
wow. You know, my next question, I can't wait to hear the answer to this, because I hear people talk about 3-day cruises, 4-day cruises, 5-day cruises, 8-day, 14-day. What's the longest cruise you've been on?
23 days. 23 days. I have a 29-day one booked for next April. It leaves Brisbane, Australia, goes through Japan, because I always wanted to see Japan. Hiroshima, Tokyo. I always want to see Japan. It goes through Japan and then Alaska and then to Seattle. So that'll be my longest. 29 is coming up in next April, but 23 days as of now.
Wow. I could tell you, I've been to Australia, several cities: Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, Fremantle, Townsville, Albany. How did you like Australia? Did you like it?
I did. I did. I didn't have any problems over there. I mean, when you read about the history of it, I kind of like, oh boy, this is going to be like the South over here in the United States. And I really enjoyed it. And talking to people over there, when you say you're from the United States, they really think that every corner you go on, somebody's getting robbed and shot at, and they think we're just crazy with all our guns. I mean, they were actually frightened, didn't want to come. I'm like, no, you're good. You just don't go down the wrong alleys.
Yeah, you know, I enjoyed it. I really liked it. It was one of the weirdest things that happened to me was, when you think of Australia, you think of the accent. You think of kangaroos, the outback, and the accent. And they said, "Oh, I just love your accent." I was like, "You love my accent. You the one with the accent." You know it. Even though they speak English, some of their words don't mean the same as our words.
No, it doesn't.
And it kind of threw me off. I was a lot younger then. And speaking of Japan, I've been to Tokyo, Muran, Otaru, Yokosuka, Sasebo, several places in Japan. And I could tell you, that is one amazing place. Very amazing.
It was on my bucket list. That's why I wanted to book this cruise. It was on my bucket list, so I was lucky enough to get it. And
I'm gonna see if anybody can top this, though, Bill. I went to Japan and Australia for free, and I didn't use points and miles. Well, I can't beat that. Don't count. Trust me, I paid for it. Trust me.
Now, see, you said that. Now I'm gonna throw. I see somebody use the word flex out here, so I'm gonna flex a little bit. But I flew to, and we're gonna go with the 23-day cruise. I flew to Sydney, Australia for $39 first class, and because of Delta, and I got on the cruise coming back for $100. So I would, you got yours for free. I got mine for I'd say pretty much free.
I was just kidding, Bill. I paid the price. I was in the military. I worked every day.
Oh, wait, see, you paid the price. I didn't. I paid $150.
Bill, I'm a flex on you, Rod. I'm a flex for real. I paid.
Yeah, see,
but that's Bill. You can't even fly from Dallas to Fort Worth for $39, and that's
I'm telling you. I use a lot of times I use the airplane like people use buses, because any place in U.S. or U.S. territory I fly for free. You fly standby, but again, I gotta stop saying that. But again, I was doing good. I didn't say it. I haven't said it. I don't think I have. I fly any place for free. So like when the Lions were in the playoffs, I flew out to watch the game out in Las Vegas. I wasn't gonna pay the price to go see the game in San Francisco, but I flew out to Las Vegas to watch it out there with all the other fans. So I mean, I've been blessed, but don't think I've taken it for granted either. And, you know, I gladly share that with anybody. And I tell everybody that there's more to life than making money. There's more to life.
To see that, Bill. I was always a money man, all about the paper, but my recent hospital visit, where I was there 7 long days, I sound like Tony Braxton, and 2 or 3 of the days was in ICU. And man, I got to care about money, because I got to have a little bit to get where I'm going. But I just care about life now. I care about peace, life, travel, doing as much as I can before I check out. And that's what I care about now. So, man, it's amazing that things make you change your perspective. Hey, see it with C. What's up, my sister? She was also a guest on the Point Blank Experience. Says, laugh out loud. I started to show my family my travels too. And then it just confused them. My dad thinks I don't work now.
Right. But again, I'm always looking for a deal. You know, people. There was a question up here, or somebody said something about a suite. I've cruising. I only had like a suite maybe 2 or 3 times of all my cruises. A lot of times I go for the interior room, because it's like I can get a balcony cabin, or get 2 cruises on an interior room. I prefer the 2 cruises than the one. If I take somebody with me that hasn't cruised before, then I would splurge on a balcony or something like that. But now for me personally, give me the cheapest room on a cruise ship, because I'm going to the same ports that everybody else. The person I spent $300 on my cabin, and they spent $5,000 on their suite. We're going to the same ports.
And I wish I'd have talked to you before the meeting I cruise, because I thought I had to have this suite, right? I wanted to be big ball and rod, and all I did was sleep in the thing, man, and I barely did that.
Right, sleep and shower. That's the only thing I use the cabin for.
Yeah, and by the time I got to the room, it was time for bed, and right when I was in a good sleep, people was on that little old Carnival Hub app talking about, hey, where you at? Where you at? We eating breakfast. It's time to go, and I'm like, oh Lord. So yeah, and I went out. I almost went out to the balcony. I had a balcony, a suite with a balcony. I almost went out to the balcony, but the lip on the floor was so high, I would have stepped over it and tripped and caught myself on the doors. And I said, well, I ain't going out there, because if I trip and fall overboard, who's going to see me? You got a blue water, a black dude, and I ain't going to be smiling. They might see me from screaming, see my teeth. I was like, no. And I think it was in the evening time. Like, no. So I don't have no reason to get none of that. No balconies, no suites. I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out how not to even get a cabin. I just go sleep at the casino.
Pretty much.
On the slot machine, Bill, and just be like.
The very last cruise I went on, I had a balcony, and I literally spent 15 minutes on that balcony. Paid twice what I would have normally paid. And for what? To say I have a balcony? Nah. Give me an interior room. I'm good, and I enjoy the ports. I enjoy the casino. I enjoy all the entertainment that everybody else is enjoying. And guess what? When we go to sleep, we're enjoying our cabins the same.
Facts. And hey, I want to point this out. Then we have a question, but before I get to that question, I need to pull something else up. Hey, my main man Chad, who's also a Points and Miles guru, as well as a finance guy. He's on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all check out Chad's Money Minutes. I'm supposed to be meeting Chad in July in Miami. Him and Luke's Points and Miles, another fellow YouTuber. Real cool dude. I love his channel. He puts out a lot of content like I do, so it's kind of hard. I'm trying to get better at getting over his channel, because he makes sure he get over to mine. So he said he just sub to you, Bill. And I want to take the time to thank Why Loves to Motivate for that $10. Hold up, man. I got something for you. That $10. What? Super chat. Thank you for that $10 super chat. Keep going. Oh, man. Yeah. I tell you what, this has been fun. And I want to thank Bill for being the first guest in a long time, and the first guest of 2024. Speaking of which, if you go back or you're just coming in, it's the easiest way to find the replay. You can kind of go to my channel and go to the top, or look at the playlist, live streams season 2, because I had so many in the first live stream playlist. Each year is going to be a new season. So I'm kind of moving up in the world. I got my seasons now. I'm kidding y'all. I ain't moving up nowhere. All right, so let me get back where I was here. And there's a question. See what C says. How long was your training to work with Delta?
I was a gate agent. I don't know. It might have been 2 or 3 weeks. It wasn't long. It wasn't. I wasn't a flight attendant or anything like that. It was just people that board the aircraft, or they had jobs where you can load the luggage. But I did the board the aircraft or check in your bags at Delta, and I did it part time. So when I first signed up, I did it like 20 hours a week for the summer, and then it went to like 40 hours a week in the summertime. But then you had the rest of the year, and you kept your flight benefits all the other time.
How long did you work for him, Bill, total?
10 years. 10 years. If you work 10 years, you can retire with benefits.
Okay. That's where I was leading to with that.
Yeah.
Question. Okay, because I know I can't see you working 2-3 weeks and then you got benefits. Yeah. Have you gone? This is from all of my world. Have you gone on any other cruise lines other than Carnival?
Yeah, I've been on. That's a good question too. I've been on Norwegian, Royal, and MSC. Royal and Norwegian, NCL. I've been on their older ships, and again, it's as long as I'm on a cruise, I'm fine. But there is a big difference between these newer ships and the older ships. I'm going Royal Caribbean. I'm going on April. Matter of fact, when is it? April 8th. I'm going on a 4-day cruise with my family, and we're all my grandkids. Happy birthday, Aiden and Ava. We're going on a cruise for their birthday, April 8th, on Royal Allure of the Seas, which is an Oasis class ships, which is the ship that brought us into this new generation of these mega ships. So I'm doing that, but the MSC I went on some of their newer ships, and they're just beautiful ships. And if you don't like the water, you don't even have to see the water on some of these ships now if you don't want to.
I really want to go on Royal, Bill, so I can stay. Now I feel like I have a better chance of living, so I do want to get one more balcony. I want to get that Central Park balcony on Royal Caribbean. Because if I fall, I might land in a tree, one of the trees or
okay,
a bed or something.
Now, when you get that balcony, every time you go out there and sit out there, imagine the other 150 cabins across from you looking in at you.
I don't care. At least I'm living now. Y'all, this is I don't know if I'm going to call this a fun fact. I'm going to call it a fact. Your boy Rod enlisted in the United States Navy. I retired after 20 years and 26 days. And to this day, I may, with a whole lot of luck and work from the Lord, be able to swim from my front door to my back door. I cannot swim.
Really?
Nope.
I'm not a swimmer either, but I wasn't in the service.
Well, boy, it was rough. I remember I stayed in boot camp 17 extra days, and all I did was swim everywhere. I went to the pool every day. I didn't swim none of them. I went to the pool every day. And I remember my mom at the time. My mom was big in the church. And they give you that little Bible, when you join the military. And she's like, son, just read the 23rd Psalm and get in there and sing something peaceful like Amazing Grace. I said, okay, Mom, I'm gonna try that. Not blowing off, I said, I'm gonna really try it. So I went and jumped in the pool and had been in there about 2.5 minutes. You only had to float for 5. And I was singing Amazing Grace and got so relaxed that I just floated right to the bottom. They blew the whistle, time up. I had to start all over. I was like, that didn't work either, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. So Sid with Cecil, I love Prince too. If y'all ever want to see me boo-hoo cry, catch me during a good performance of Purple Rain. Wow. Hold up, Bill. My little iPad with my questions went off here. I gotta go back.
Hey, Sid with C, if you ever go out to Vegas, they have a tribute band out there, Purple Rain, REIGN. They do a great show. Prince, they do all his songs. They bring out people that look like Morris Day at a time. It's a great show out there.
Hey, also, man, we've hit that 1 hour mark. I'm really working on streamlining my live stream. So If you have any questions for Bill or myself, preferably for Bill, you might want to get them in. We're not going to be on here. I have to respect Bill's time. Number one, he took the time to come to my platform. Also, he's on the East Coast, so he's an hour ahead of me. And for the sake of the viewers that are here now, you guys, as well as the people that are thinking about watching the replay, we want to keep these around the hour. Yeah, that trip sounds interesting. Now, Bill, what are you expecting from the new Excel class ships that Carnival is coming out with? What are you expecting?
If they, if they stay to what they do, nothing special. They're, they have 3 XL class ships right now. The Mardi Gras was the first celebration. That's where I met. I'm about to say, I'm looking at the screen, keeping up with the Griffins. Your favorite couple, I met them on that cruise, and the celebration. And basically, those ships are all the same. They have a different paint job. So if you want to experience an Excel class ship to save a little bit of money, don't go on a Jubilee. Go on like the Mardi Gras or the celebration, because they'll be a little cheaper than the other ones. But they're the same. They name different areas of the ship differently, but the ship is laid out almost exactly the same.
Okay. Gotcha. I just wanted to get, because you're 48 cruises and 5 booked, you got to be an expert. So when going on, Mr. Andrew 2800 says, when going on cruises, what cruise has the best suite? Well, you only had a couple of them, so I don't know.
You only had a couple of them. They were both. I had a suite on NCL, which was nice, and then I had a couple of suites on like Carnival, and so I mean I couldn't really tell you, which one has the best suites. But again, I always say that. But again, I got to stop saying that. It's just it's that anyway. I don't spend enough time in the room to enjoy a suite. Now, maybe, but even when I take somebody, we're always on the go. We're always on the run. We're literally going back to the room to sleep and shower, change clothes. That's it. And we don't spend any time in the room.
Facts. I with my one cruise under my belt and none booked, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
So, hey, Bill, the people love you. I'll be honest with you, man. I've never had this much interaction in any interview I've done with this many questions. I've never had these many questions from the people that are in the comments. And for that, chat, I salute you. Thank you. You've made my job so much easier. Now, Meet and I has a question. Then I have a question from the Lifeline from my cell phone. So we got people watching it from all over the place, man.
You never know.
Yeah, you got people watching. So outside of cruising, is there any place in the world you would want to travel to? And that's coming from me.
Right now, I want to put together like a group cruise to, it's going down the Nile River. You fly over to Cairo, Egypt, and take a cruise down the Nile River. That's if you look at the number one thing on my bucket list, that's it right now, is that cruise right there, a Nile River cruise, which is different than like a Carnival cruise. Those ships aren't the same. They're more like the if you looked at a Mississippi riverboat cruise, little ship, that's what it would be like. But I want to do a Nile River cruise, and a lot of people have reached out to me as far as that and want to know when I put that together. But you fly over to Cairo, you spend a couple of days in Cairo looking at the pyramids and the Sphinx. Go down the Nile River for 3 or 4 days. Get off in Luxor and see some of the ancient history of the world right there, and then you fly back, and I mean you're probably looking at about 8 to 10 days, but I think that would be a trip of a lifetime.
Man, you hear some interesting places, but I've never heard someone say the Nile River, and that is pretty cool, man. I like that, Bill. I like that. I really, really like that. Hey, Bill, you flexed on me earlier, flying for $39 and $100 cruise. I got to flex on you. You said your longest cruise was 23 days, and you got a cruise coming up for 29 days. My longest cruise on multiple occasions, I think 4 different occasions, 45 days.
Wow. And people don't understand. In 45 days, when you stood on land, you probably felt funny standing on land.
Well, first of all, before I got to land, I wanted to kill somebody because I was on a cruise ship with casinos and cocktails. I was on here with a whole bunch of people that you don't know half. You don't know 80% of the people that's on a cruise, but I knew 100% of the people that was on the ship with me.
Yeah.
Half of them got on my nerves.
Oh boy.
And I was up in rank, so they really started like getting on your nerve because they trying to talk to you. You really don't want to talk. After 30 days, you ready to kill somebody. But again, I'm just messing with you, man. I wouldn't call that flexing because it was no enjoyable 45 days. So, hey,
but you know what though, Rod? I tell everybody, especially if you're not sure your direction, what you want to do, you join the military, see the world. A lot of people I know, like especially being from the city of Detroit, they never left. They never left the city of Detroit. They don't know what's out there, what's in the world. They don't know what's going on in Florida. They don't know what's going on in Nevada. They have no clue because they've never left. All they know is Detroit. As I was telling you before, Detroit was a city built for 2 million people. It's 600,000 people there now. They had like high-rise buildings that were abandoned. And people in Detroit, if you talk to the kids and stuff, they thought that was like normal. It's like, no, you get outside Detroit, you don't see that. Land has value, but you would never see Detroit's just building up the riverfront. Now they've been doing it for the last 15 years, building up the riverfront. Our riverfront was all factories. We didn't have a river walk. Now we do. We have like a 4-mile river walk. It's one of the best in the world. If you ever get a chance to come up here, matter of fact, I'll do a video on it. Detroit has one of the best river walks in the world, bar none. I mean, when you get down there and look at it, and you're right across from Canada, so now you can become international because you take that Ambassador Bridge over a mile, you're in Canada. So bring your passport.
And that's a good point. I talk about that quite a bit, man. A lot of people haven't left their cities, their counties, their states, and a lot of people really don't even know the ins and outs of getting a passport, man. It's more to this world than that little rural town like I grew up in, or that city that you currently live in. It's more to the world than that. So, hey, Controversial Cruising wants to know, what's your favorite food on and off a cruise?
Ooh, I'm a meat and potatoes type of guy. Give me a good steak, a baked potato, nice salad. I'm in heaven.
Same here, Bill. Give me a good ribeye, medium well, a lot of fat, and a twice baked potato. And
now you're talking.
Yeah, plenty of leaving.
Now you're talking.
Hey, House of X said you're welcome, because they were telling people to welcome in. And I got to say, man, I watched the House of X video or live stream the other day, and I knew I shouldn't have watched it. Well, I should have fast forwarded, because that dang on intro song, man, we stay entertaining. So I forgot what's the day, Tuesday. So this had to be Friday or Saturday. I spent the rest of the day singing, "Now turn me up. Now turn me up." I was like, boy,
it sticks in your head. It literally
got me again, man. It got me again. And
it sticks in your head.
Hey, Chad's Money Man, I love this here, said hashtag Black Dads Matter.
They do.
Yo, it's your boy Leo said, no doubt, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Sid with C said, Bill is goals. Yes. 29-day cruise next April 2025. Wow. Sid with C, facts. And right now I learned this here the hard way. I learned this the hard way because this is how I approached Bill. He said, salute to these two vets. And I thought Bill was a vet as well. He quickly corrected me that he's not a veteran. But I want to say right now, from one veteran to a person that sounds like he should have been a veteran, I salute you, Bill. I notice, if you see in my live streams, there's two gestures that I'll do. I tend to welcome people in like this, kind of like blessings. Thank you for being here. You'll never see me do a full-fledged salute. You'll always see me do the two fingers, because from the military, when we do a salute, number one, the Navy does not salute inside, outside only. And it's kind of, treading rough water, saluting with a non-military hat on. So having a Padres hat on, saluting if the
Right,
wrong
right.
wouldn't be too cool. So, but I salute you, my brother. I salute you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your service too, Rob. We again, communities are what you put into it. If you don't put anything into it, don't expect anything out of it. You know, don't complain. So, like, you know, being part of the military, you know, being in law enforcement, being a nurse, being a teacher. Again, you're never going to get rich in those professions, but that's the backbone of society, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you got people out here running businesses. Their bottom line is how much money they make, and that's kind of what the problem is in society today. But we won't get into that. But it's all about how much money you can make. So you have to answer to the stockholders, and you'll do anything. So if I can cut your wage, if I can cut your benefits down to get them a couple of extra dollars, well, that's what they do. It's not about making sure that you're a middle class family to take care of your family. You know, Walmart, and again, not to get political or anything like that, but Walmart, I mean, half their workers are on aid from the states. Why is Walmart making billions and billions, record profits, and can't afford to pay their workers enough money to survive on without getting aid? So the middle class and those jobs, the civil servants, to me, that's like the backbone of this country, or it should be.
Well, I tell you what, Bill, and I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. I'm gonna say two things. Number one, I was watching TV last night before, as I was preparing for your interview. I was taking a break from YouTube, and I saw on the news where they're raising minimum wage in California. I think it was shown on McDonald's to $20, and they say expect food prices to go up as well. So I know dang on well, I paid $11.49 for a Big Mac meal in Phoenix, and I know it didn't cost $11.49 to make that meal. So now y'all have to raise the prices up even higher just because y'all paying this kid $20. How many meals has he handed out the window, or she handing out the window in the last hour? I bet you it wasn't $20 worth. It might have been $1,000 worth. But y'all gonna charge.
That's it. They're making okay. Let's say there's I don't know how many people work at McDonald's, 10, 15 people. Well, they're going up $4 an hour. They're at 16 and they're going up to 20. Well, how much do you have to raise the meals up to make up that $4 times 10 people? That's $40. How much do you really have to raise the price of your burgers up to make that $40 back? Here's an extra quarter. But you're not. You're gonna raise it up $1.50. You're gonna pocket the rest and blame it on them wanting $20 an hour.
And then the crazy part, I don't know what the overhead is, because with my meal, I got no napkins and no ketchup for my fries. So where's the overhead? I mean, at least they gave me a bag. I'm surprised they didn't just hand me the Big Mac box, the fries and the soda, and told me to drink out the cup and not even give me a straw. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
One more thing I'm going to say to that, and I'm not going to dwell on this, because I typically, on this channel, I can say and do whatever the hell I want. On Points Blank Travel, I won't get political and I don't get into religion. One thing I don't understand, and Bill, you can chime in, you don't have to. I'm not going to, after I say this here, I'm not going to say any more about it. One thing I don't understand, I stopped at a store in Phoenix. I did a short on it. They had shopping carts lined up down the street like they were school buses at a high school or a Greyhound station. I had to maneuver through shopping carts with who knows what in them. All kind of homeless people out here in the streets. Yet we're talking about passing a bill to send X amount of millions and X amount of billions over to a whole nother country to fight a war with a bomb that's going to blow up and be gone. Man, come on, somebody make it make sense to me.
Well, again, there I go saying again. You have to follow the dollars, and who's making the bombs? Who's war, fear? They are big sellers, and they did that every time. Being a little political here, a Democrat gets ready to become president. The first thing they start saying is they're coming to take your guns. Not one Democratic president said that. However, on that fear alone, gun sales go through the roof. I mean, it's all about making money for a lot of people, and fear sells. Fear sells, and it's really bad now. Even our politicians, a lot of politicians run on fear. Tell me what you're gonna do about my community. Don't tell me about the fear mongering that you're doing. Tell me how you're going to help me. Tell me about my taxes. Tell me how you're going to make sure that these corporations are paying as much in taxes as I am. If I pay 28%, they should be paying 28%. Tell me how you're going to do that. That's tell me how in the richest country in the world that everybody in this country doesn't have health care. Tell me how that's. However, if somebody else does something across the world, we got them helping them out with their humanitarian crisis that they're having. We have one here, and we need to take care of the people here. I'm not saying give them the best of everything, but our politicians, most of them are part-time politicians. Our senators, our House of Representatives, if they work 4 months out the year, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, you got a good.
They're always on vacation. Hey, we're about to take a vote. Well, in 2 weeks when we come back, they're always on vacation.
Yeah, they do stay on a lot of recesses, is what they call it. They do.
Right. Yeah, recesses.
Hey, well, I'm trying to find. I moved over to something. Now I can't find where I was. Hold up, Bear. It was a comment from me that I've been to Birmingham and Dallas. I need to step my game. But man, get out of here. Y'all stay traveling. Me tonight. Y'all stay traveling, man. See, even Alyssa had to laugh at that one.
But you'll be surprised how many people have not traveled anywhere, have not seen out, 10 miles outside where they live.
And it's sad, but it's so true. Hey, this is the last call. This is like the club, ladies and gentlemen. Last call for comments. And I'm going to shut this joint down, man, in probably the next few minutes. So if you have any questions for Bill, please get them in now. Also, I'm going to let Bill do his closing comments. I'm going to do mine, and we're going to get ready to get up out of here. I just want to jump through here. I'm not going to pull any more speaking up. Hey, does Bill pay extra as a single cruiser? Do they give a discount for dual occupancy rate?
You do. You pay on most cruise lines. They don't have like solo cabins. There's a couple of cruise lines. I think Virgin Voyages has a solo cabin, and NCL, they have some solo cabins where it would be a little cheaper. Most cruise ships have what I do. I go on Carnival. I pay. They go by double occupancy. So if it's $500 per person, I have to pay $1,000. The one thing that I don't have to do is pay the port charges for that person or the gratuities for that person. So yeah, I mean, it is, when you go by yourself, it is it does get expensive. It can. That's why I look for my casino deals, and when I get a good casino deal, I try to jump on it.
All righty. Hey, we got to keep it up with the Griffins in the crib. A couple of people came in. They're part of the alliance, also part of the team to help keep me in check. At the Punch Bank Experience, what's up, Rob? We're late. No such thing, man. You're here right now. There's no such thing as late. Hey, we missed this interview. Hello, Bill. Hello, everyone in the chat. Y'all some busy people, Griffs. I told the understand. They are. Hey, I'm sure this is Anwar. Could be me. Never know. Meet and I said, me checking out to see if Delta hiring.
To me, that's one of the greatest benefits that you could ever have. I've been to Beijing. I've been to Paris. I've been to Rome. I've been to Madrid. I've been to Barcelona. Me flying, I mean, I don't think nothing about it. Airports don't bother me. So again, the flight from Seattle to Sydney was probably about 15 hours. I do it in a heartbeat. It was free. I do it in a heartbeat. And again, it's not about money. You can find jobs that pay better, but again, those benefits, you're not going to beat it if you like traveling. I took my kids over to Dubai for Thanksgiving one weekend, and then my family, my daughter and my son, we went to Paris for Valentine's dinner. So we went over there. Next day, got up, went to dinner, and then the following day came home. Just flew over there just for a day.
Now that's goals. Y'all can have their cruise and stuff, but if I've been to Dubai, I've never been to Paris, but I've been to Dubai 3 or 4 times. And you ain't seen a city until you've seen Dubai. Vegas
No,
ain't
sir.
got nothing on Dubai. Nothing. Vegas ain't got nothing on Dubai. So to fly to Dubai, to take your kids to Dubai for a day, I think you said a day, and then to get up and go have dinner in Paris, those are goals. Those are unheard of things right there, man. I mean, you probably got celebrities that ain't even doing stuff like that. So,
well, but that's what I try to tell people. People, when I talk, I mean, it's like, oh, you got money? No, I don't. A lot of time I was working and only had a couple of days. A lot of people, will you go on a 3-day cruise, a 2-day cruise? Yeah, because I did a lot when I was working 2 jobs. I didn't have the time off when I was able to do it. So flying over there, it's like I got a couple of days. Let's go. We're gonna be tired, but we're gonna see the Eiffel Tower and get a picture with it. We're gonna go to the Coliseum and see what the Coliseum does. And Dubai, everything's in English over there, but it's nothing like being in the middle of the desert and seeing a ski resort indoors. I mean, there's nothing like Dubai on earth. If you anything extravagant, it's there. The police had Lamborghinis.
Yep. When I was there, this was the first time I went there. Was probably late 90s. This was the first time I went there. The average vehicle was a Range Rover. The average SUV was a Range Rover. And the average car was a Mercedes S-Class. You didn't really see C's and E's. Now, in case this is your first time here, I don't drop gems or nuggets. I drop boulders. And I'm going to drop my first boulder tonight. Bill has dropped several. But a lot of people, Bill just said something that really made me think. And on Points Blank Travel, I talk about the 3 Ps. But I guess I'm going to have 2 3 Ps now. Bill said people thought he made a lot of money, but you don't really necessarily need a lot of money to be able to do certain things. I'm going to hit you with the 3 Ps. Proper planning is priceless. Forget that deals. Forget that. Proper planning, priceless. If you plan properly, that's what I try to tell people investing with Rod. If you plan properly, you ain't never got to pay for another travel trip ever in your life if you plan properly and start today. Matter of fact, I'm saving for a trip and I don't even know where I'm going right now.
Right.
Now, right, Bill?
Right. You planning, you're going to go, but you start saving now. Finance again, Rod. Again, that's why I started watching you, because growing up, I didn't get financial advice really, and I didn't know about investing in the stock market. You know what? All these executives, and they get paid in stocks, because if you hold a stock for a certain amount of time, you pay 8% tax on it. That's why these millionaires have all this money, because you're being taxed on your money. And they're like, oh, no. Give me the 8% tax. And I mean, it's incredible once you start investing. And these stocks and crypto. Imagine if you had bought crypto 10 or 15 years ago. And it's a long game, people. Finances is a long game. It's not a short game. If somebody tells you they can get you rich tomorrow by investing in something, walk away. It's a long game. And time is money. So if you start now, if you start when you're 25, 30, in 30 years, you'll be surprised how much money you have by just putting a little bit away, by putting in the stock market, by investing in the different funds, not risky funds, the ones that grow slowly but surely.
Bill bring up a good point. If you are 21 right now, you start putting away $100 a month, making somewhere between the average of time, 8 to 10% interest. By the time you retire at 65, start with $100 a month, never changing, continue to do $100 a month. By the time you retire at 65, you'll have well over $1 million. Proven.
And people don't understand that as far as with money, time is money. And when you invest it, and I know the stock market goes up and down, but that's where the money is. You're not gonna make money in a checking savings account. And if you invest that money and don't touch it, and some years it's going to go up 20%, some years it's going to go down 8%. But if you overall over the average, as Roger said, you do it for your lifetime, you'll have more money than you know what to do with. Well, you'll find something to do with it.
And all of my world said, "What, Rod can't swim? They don't make you swim. They make you float. You didn't have to swim. You had to float." I did it for 5 minutes and passed, and that was it. That's a good one. And keep it up. The Griffins showing love, and I had it up on the screen, but then we started talking about something else. Welcome to the Catrins. They're part of the Alliance as well. Thank y'all for being here. Meat and I got them jokes. All of my words. It's a height requirement to swim. Rod is 4'12". Rod is 5'9". I done gave up on the 5'10". I'm 5'9" now. I don't know where they come up with this 5'5", 4'12". Man, I messed that question all up. Meat and I count us in. Group cruise. Wow. Have you ever gone? A minute. Okay. Meat and I said they plan to come to Detroit. And Benton Harbor always want to go to Motown. And then when they say it, if they plan on it, they going to do it.
Yeah.
If they plan on going, you best believe they going to plan on doing it.
Well, and, if you like Motown, go check out the museum. It's small. They're expanding it now. But it was a little small house where Berry Gordy got his start. And it's fascinating just to see it. So, yeah, welcome. Let me know when you're coming up.
Hey, your favorite couple, this stuff like this here is what make me keep grinding hard, because people don't have to put this in the comments. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to give Bill the stage. Oh man, Bill might be flashing out the same as me. My battery.
Oh no. I had to cough, so I just
my battery's flashing. So what I'm gonna do is put Bill solo. I would probably ask a question, and that'll give him enough time to answer for me to go change. This interview is phenomenal. So Bill, I do have a question, and I wasn't going to even ask this question because I'm ready for us to get out of here. Do you think they will ban filming on cruise ships in the future?
No. I mean,
take your time, Bill. Take your time. I'm gonna swap batteries.
Okay. I don't think they'll ever ban filming, but we, content creators, we need to be aware that there's other people around us. And a lot of times we'll throw our cameras out and is just filming everybody. Everybody doesn't want to be filmed. Everybody doesn't want to be on YouTube. Everybody doesn't want to, you never know who you might be on a cruise with. Maybe your wife is at home, but your girlfriend is on the cruise with you. Everybody doesn't want to be filmed. So it's up to us to be more responsible as far as, what we're filming. I don't, a lot of times I may try to film, like if I'm having dinner, what I'm eating. If I do that, can I get a table by myself? Or if I'm with somebody, can we get a table for 2? Because if you're at a table of 8 and you don't know those people, it's awkward for you, but also awkward for them. You're sitting up there talking about your food and in the camera. And, everybody's not into that. So me being an introvert, it's tough for me to do that. I won't do that. If I get a table for 2, I'm all in. So I don't think they'll ever ban it because, excuse me, cruising right now is at an all-time high, and part of it is probably because of YouTube videos. And we're always talking about how great cruising is. So when we talk about how great it is, you get all these other people that hey, I want to find out about it too. So now all these ships are filling up, and now you have to book 6 months, a year in advance if it's a cruise that you want to go on. But as with anything, with supply and demand, if there's a high demand, the price is going to go up. If it's low demand, prices come down. You'll start seeing all the deals on cruising, and that's why in September you'll see some cheaper cruises. The first week of December, you'll see some cheaper cruises because nobody really wants to go around that time of year. So right now, I think they love us as far as being on social media, sharing out their content, because now everybody wants to go cruising.
And that's a good point, Bill, because now they don't have to advertise as much because you got these content creators advertising for them, basically. sharing all these videos and these vlogs on Instagram. Hey, I forgot about that question I had from the Lifeline. How did you win the ship on the stick behind you, Bill? It was some ship.
Yeah, this was on the 23-day cruise, and it wasn't because I was real smart about it. They had like they had a contest, and nobody was really there. There's like 2 or 3 of us there, and I won. It's nothing. I didn't win. Some people are they're very good at the trivia questions. I never really won like a true trivia con. Well, I mean, that was a true one. It just wasn't many people involved.
Wow. Hey, Marjorie says Point Blank Experience and Bill, the best duo interview on YouTube. Wow.
Thanks, Marjorie.
I told you, Bill, this has been one of the best interviews I've done, man. And it was because maybe I just need to interview our introverts, man. Maybe I just need to, because you didn't seem like no introvert to me. But
well, when I get nervous, I start to ramble, and I just start talking, and people seem to like the rambling. But yeah, when I get nervous, I ramble.
Well, I didn't hear you ramble, and Meet and I agree. Said big facts. Your favorite couple said big facts, and I know I have at least one more question that's going to be a very short answer question. Marjorie said, Warmstrong Adventures, I love the way you express your opinions tonight. I totally agree. Dubai for Thanksgiving, man, Bill is different. Laugh out loud. Cooking with the Campus, I'm definitely looking into the travel industry for work, even part-time. Dubai is goals, man. Dubai is a cool place, man.
It is.
What blew my mind, it's kind of like Vegas. You know, you can be walking in that Vegas heat, but that Vegas heat and that Dubai heat is something different. And when the door open on a building or the mall, you could just feel all the cold air come outside and overtake that 107. I think it was 107, 110 degrees when I was in Dubai one time. And I'm not Muslim, but I have a lot of respect for them because I know people, if I'm not mistaken, Ramadan is still going on. But I was overseas, and to witness being in a mall the size of the Emirates Mall in Dubai, and the sun sets and it's time to pray, and they shut that whole mall down without any security, any problems, any people tripping.
Yep.
Because it's time to go pray and eat. It was phenomenal. I've never seen nothing like this in my life. So, hey, don't forget to connect with Warmstrong Adventures. Bill, I'm going to get ready to let you have your closing comments, but I do have one more question. Hey, what's up, BDBGP? How you feeling? How you living? And I'm going to make sure, man, because I ain't going to never get out of here. These, he's speaking to you, Bill. All right, we are at the end. That's true, Cooking with the Catchers. And I never thought of this, man. That's true. Some people are rude with filming. I guess I don't be caring because I'm hoping somebody recognize me in Billy and Sally's video and say, hey, that's that dude PBT. Because it ain't happened on my own yet. So, man, that's what I be hoping. But Controversial Cruising says, this was great. Again, if you thought this was great, if you enjoyed this interview, we have many more to come. Can't say it's going to be as good as the one with Bill, but please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you have subscribed, I know you got more than one device. Subscribe from another. Do something. We're trying to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers rather quickly. Make sure you check out Point Blank Travel. Make sure you check out Investing with Rod. We are about to crank Point Blank Clips, my 4th channel, back up, where we'll take these long live streams with Bill and I, and we'll put 2 to 5 minute clips in there to have the best of that interview. Cooking with the Catchers said this was awesome. Again, I am your boy Rod from the Point Blank Experience, CEO of the Point Blank Network, and we have Bill with Warmstrong Adventures. And I'm going to let Bill say anything that he have to say. But before I give Bill the floor, Bill, I have one last question for you. It's a short answer question. Was this an experience?
This was a great experience. Right. I told you I was nervous coming in here. You made me feel comfortable. I really enjoyed this. If you follow me on YouTube, you know I don't talk too much as far as my beliefs. I talk cruising. Generally, that's all I talked about. But on this one, I felt comfortable, and telling you some things that I've never said on YouTube before. You did a great interview. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for even having me up here.
And the feeling is mutual, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule. I know you got a cruise coming up on the 8th, and thank you. It was an honor to have you here. I want to read this comment. Meet and I said, check out Investing with Rod. We're already making money with him, and that's the goal. It's not me making money. It's us making money.
Right. Everybody can make money.
Typically, and what I do on there, y'all, and Meet and I can attest to this. I go on Robinhood if I'm doing stocks and some crypto, and I go on Coinbase if I'm doing crypto, and I make a $5 or $10 purchase because I'm not going to be that dude that tell you can do something and not show you that you can do it. And I'm not trying to show off and show out. I want to show up. Woo, that went over somebody's head. I'm not trying to show out and show off. I want to show up. And what I mean by show up is I want to show up, show people you can do this too. Don't believe that you need hundreds and thousands and all that stuff. You can invest with $5 from now to the end of time, and I guarantee you it will pay off. Now, with that being said, Bill, I'm going to give you the floor. Whatever you want to say, it could be a minute, it could be 2 minutes, it could be 10 seconds. It's on you, baby.
And I'm going to harp real quick on what Rod was just saying. You can do it on Cash App. You can buy stocks on Cash App at fractions, just a couple of dollars. But if you keep doing that over and over again, next thing you know, you got 1 stock, 2 stocks, 5 stocks, 10 stocks. You can do it. Invest your money. You do a little research, stick with Rod, learn how to find a good company, how to find a good stock. With that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and being part of this interview. Yeah, it made me feel right at home though with the questions and all the interaction in the chat. I really appreciate that. My name is Bill William from Warmstrong Adventures. I love cruising, and that's usually what I'm talking about. Politics and finances I normally don't talk about. If anybody ever has a question you want to know about cruising, come on over to me, and I try to give you the best answer that I can give you. Controversial Cruising. He is my partner. We do a show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time called Cruise Talk Live, where we talk nothing but cruising. That's all we talk about. Different topics. We have a show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time where we'll be talking about cruising. I don't know if you guys heard about some people being left over in Africa on a cruise. Well, we're going to be talking about how they got left by a cruise ship. Got left by a cruise ship in Africa. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. And then also on Thursday, I do a show, Banter with Bill, where I talk mostly cruising, almost all cruising. And that's 5 p.m. Eastern time. So check me out. If you haven't subscribed, come over, watch a few videos. And if you like what you hear, subscribe. I try to give you the best content. And again, I try to give you how I really feel about a cruise line. I don't get paid by cruise line. So if it's something I didn't like, I'll let you know. So just come on over and check me out. Check out the show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Check out the show Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So with that, Rod, I am done.
Well, I tell you what, Bill, again, it was an honor and a pleasure, man. And yeah, I heard about that Africa thing. I didn't get the full gist of it. I saw it and I was getting kind of sleepy. So I'll definitely try my best to tap in tomorrow so I can get the ins and outs or whatever. You said 7 Central, so 6.
7 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be 6 Central.
Okay. And as I've said, let me say it one more time. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Hit that thumbs up button. I usually say ring the doorbell. Sometimes people smell the food at a barbecue and they just forget to ring the doorbell. They come on in, grab a plate and start eating. And I totally understand that. But as you exit my crib, please make sure you hit that doorbell. And the doorbell is that like button down below. Share the channel out. Share this video out with your family, your friends, your cousin, your cousin's cousin, your co-workers. Matter of fact, share it out with people you don't even like. Because if they busy watching me, they ain't got time to be messing with you. And as I end each and every live stream, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you will be amongst the stars. I can guarantee you. I will be coming at you soon, dropping more heat, dropping more fire, dropping more knowledge, and more importantly, getting to know more people in this world. With all that being said, Bill, if you can hang out for about 20 seconds, we about to roll up out of here. Much love to everybody, and I will be seeing y'all soon. Peace, baby.
Take care. Thank you.